I just have just a little bit left on this CD, Rusty. And I think I'd like to say something, I don't know, about how each one of my kids, how what happened during their birth. I don't know why, it just came to me, and I thought I would tell you guys. Let's see. First of all was Bob. The thing I can recall most about his birth is we took Mother into the hospital, I can't think too early, and we waited around for at least 3 days. And every time we thought to go home, she started having contractions, and that took 3 days, and that was earth shattering. I didn't shave, I didn't shower. I was in the hospital for 3 days with her, and finally Bob was born, and that was what I can remember about his birth. Don, I can remember Mother we had just moved into to the apartment above some garages, and there was a couple down there was like a two-apartment complex above these garages, and there was another couple in the other one, and I remember they had to take care of Bob while I took your mother to the hospital to have Don. Don, of course, Bob was a hyper baby. Don was a very calm, easy to care for baby. And then let me see, what can I remember? Oh, I can remember about Mike. We were living in Rockford at the time, and I was working down in Peoria. And this was in April, I never forget that, April 13th. And in Peoria, it just started snowing. It was about, it's probably, let's see, I probably watched Johnny Carson because it started at 10:30, and it was probably 11:30. And I was just ready to hop into bed. I was staying at this motel, and all of a sudden I get this ring, and it's Jeanette. She says, "You got to come home." She says, "I'm going to have the baby." Well, I had to get dressed, pack all my stuff, jumped in the car, and as I was driving, it started snowing harder and harder and harder. Now, it was about, I don't know, maybe 150 miles from Peoria to Rockford. And as I was driving, I couldn't see the road. I mean, it was just white all over because it was snowing that hard. So what I did was I saw the crown of the road, so I just drove in the center. Finally made it home. I was driving all for about 3 hours. I was pooped and the snow, and I was tired. I came home. I asked Mom if she was ready to go to the hospital. She said, "Oh no, I'm not ready yet." So I said, "I'm going to go to sleep." So boom, I must have hit the pillow, and I was dead to the world. About 7 o'clock, she's shaking me. She says, "You got to get up." She says, "I'm going to have the baby." I thought, oh my goodness. And at that time, I believe I think we had our house in Rockford. So I ran across next door. I got one of their kids to come and watch Don and Bob and ran Mother to the hospital. And we just made it in time. She got there, boom, boom, the baby was born. The only thing I can recall about Mike is that he had a little hernia when he was a couple of months old, they had to take care of that. That's the only thing I can remember about Mike. And then Judy, we were still in Rockford, and I think I can remember is that I got Mother to the hospital, and the nurse was carrying out this little bundle of baby, and I says, "What is it?" And she says, "Well, it's a girl." And I said, "No way." And I remember the nurse unwrapped it and said, "See?" And it was a girl, so I was happy I had my my little girl. And then let's see what I can remember. Oh, about Laura. When Laura was born, she had this growth on her thigh, and it started growing, and it was. So she was a baby, and we didn't know what to do with it. So we took it in, and the doctor says it's some sort of growth that's in her thigh, and it has to be removed. So here's this little baby. We bring her back in, and they thought it was just going to cut it and remove it. It was going to be one big blob. And here, when they cut it and they opened it up, it was not one big one, but a whole slew of little ones. They had some as big as a pea and some as small as a BB and little peas and all. So they kept her leg open for, it had to be 4 hours to get all these little growths out of her leg. And when they sewed it up, of course, she got an infection in it. So we had to run her back to the hospital, and they inserted a tube into her little leg. I mean, her leg was just small, only about this big. I'd say just a tiny, and the scar was only maybe that big. And I says, "Oh, well, this is going to be bad. When she gets older, it's just going to be a little scar there." Well, I didn't realize that as her leg grew, so did the scar. So she has, to this day, a very, very pretty pronounced scar on her thigh. And then Linda came. I can remember her. She was born in Huntington Hospital, and they had a window right looking into the baby's area. I forgot what they call that now, but anyway, where all the babies are. And it was facing outside, so I brought all the kids, and we could actually see Linda through this window just right after she was born. And that I thought was really slick, because I had all the kids there, and they all got a chance to see their new baby sister. And needless to say, that was our last. We had our 6 kids. That was the last of it. And Mother, a couple of months later, had a hysterectomy, and because she was having all sorts of female problems. So that was it. We had our 6 kids, and that's how you guys were born, that I can remember. And it was always a happy time when the kids were born. It was Mother was happy. It was over with. I was happy to see you guys, and it was really a lot of fun. Well, a lot of fun to have 6 kids. I really enjoyed that. Now, hopefully I got this SD card all filled up, and I hope you guys don't think this is this is kind of hokey, but I thought I would actually sit down and record exactly what I can remember in my age at 82 now, because you never know. I may get Alzheimer's, I may get dementia and all that other good stuff that old people get. But right now, I would just like to say I love all my kids, and I think we had a good family and and I had a good life. That's it.